So you've done the self-help and you've dipped into some personal development, but now you ask the question, now what? What can you do? Well, if you want to escape the apathy, step right this way. So twice a year, I teach a course called Autonomy. It's a 12-week personal development and training course. What people get out of it is multifaceted. There's curriculum, there's exercises, there's camaraderie, you make new friends. There's a whole lot of interesting things. We're going to hear a sample from the course right now, and let's take a look at the value these students are getting.
Rich, have you make a plan of rereading those books that you mentioned during the during your lecture?
Have I made a plan to make a plan? Yes, I have made a plan to make a plan. I have other literary obligations to finish first. And there is a Corbett movie coming out on that series of books. So it's not like I didn't do anything. I shared some of the knowledge and there's stuff coming out. It's the gist. The line of books was the origins of the American intelligence apparatus and the role of Ian Fleming in that creation, because he was a strong representative of the British and had a lot of hands in a lot of the things that we see today. In fact, last night in America, it was said on news that the CIA killed JFK. Now, that's something a lot of people suspected, but for that to be news, I mean, it's about time that people put 2 and 2 together and got at least 4, if not 5 out of that, because the British were involved too. So it's not just the CIA, but these types of things, they continue to percolate out over time. And yeah, so I do have it'll still be relevant in the future. That's why I'm not in a hurry about it. It's not like if I do that project now, some big thing happens. It's a puzzle piece in a larger puzzle, and I'm going to keep chipping away at the other pieces in that puzzle. But that's a good question, and thank you for putting me on the spot.
Excellent, man. And yeah, Corbett introduces me to Grand Theft Auto at episode 6 or 7, I remember, and then I had no excuse for not going on that route, and I try at my best to be there every week and get the news, get the deep dive understanding. And it was like Corbett mentions, he accomplished the Grand Theft Auto endeavors and said that it is very good program and it is very nice way to have this panel, have this system. And I really appreciate that. Thank you for your work so much. And that first times when I reach the message of yours, Richard, and hear the and hear you in also the Greater Reset, the first edition, for me was like, okay, Marcin, it's time for you to dive into this, to have this essential skills and the Swiss Army knife for life. And I'm learning every time. It is like 4th season where I'm around too, and this lecture especially gave me this big understanding when I was going through the many steps of the journey here suggested in Autonomy. I was chipping out different things from my life and putting in some useful tactics and useful methods, which are a little bit hard to build, but with the effort and persistence, I am able to be here and to try and actually growing my business bit by bit. And this lecture was especially good for me in recognizing where are my weak spots and where I did some wrong, and taking from your optimism, I'm now looking at the possibilities where my overlearning period can be useful into the future.
Well expressed. Marcin, you worked with your hands. You do a lot of carpentry and things like this.
Yeah, epoxy, metals also.
Yeah. So how has the business knowledge complemented your hands-on skill set?
how is the business knowledge complement? So I was able to like stated my value at the beginning, and um, to be honest, I little put aside my business of working with my hands, and I was trying to find this my overlearning period, and now I'm slowly going back into working with my hands, and we are right now with my group. I am building this network in Poland, which is mm, I plan and I implement it similarly like Autonomy Unlimited a little bit, but we are like consultancy according to building houses, to building off-grid, earthship, biological architecture, let's say time-space vehicles called houses, and right now I just recently finished a web page, landing page for Calendly links that I can have people to connect with me, and to go on the meeting with my group, that we can record that meeting and have this excellent customer service for our clients.
Fantastic. That's a good expression of your growth, and I'm always admiring your acumen in the English vernacular. Well expressed. That
Thank you,
I
man.
know it's challenging because it's, you're in Poland. You speak Polish. This is an English class. I couldn't show up to your class and speak Polish, so your English has gotten a lot better since you joined the course. It was good when you got in, and now it's getting much more adept, and you don't have to search for words nearly as often. And that communication skill that you're showing here, I'm sure, is shining even brighter to your local customers in Poland. So good for you for getting a local network of people together. And the earth ships and the sustainable housing, like that's a big market in America that you could draw a lot of wealth from, just because you can understand what people are talking about in our videos, right? People in Poland, they only have access, if they're not speaking English, they just have access to Polish language videos on that topic. You can take from this wide body of knowledge and help to bring that to people over there. And it sounds like you're doing a great job. You're representing yourself well on video. You've got some of the best lighting I've seen. Is that natural sunlight? You have a window in front of you?
Natural sunlight is just coming up. No, I have actually one of it is right put at night right now. It's most blue, this dissolved light, and I have couple of custom made lights that I did it myself. Yeah, I will make a picture how does it look, but yeah,
Yeah, it looks good.
I will make the opposite side and put it on the class chat in forum for anyone. And I can I during the pandemic and after, I had this plan to build my studio to it was like okay, the best thing I can do right now is to inform people and try to grow in their values, the value of having this critical thinking, and this lecture and showed me that the best and the most immediate way to do that is basically grow my own critical thinking skills. And Tony Meyer's lecture, I just started the critical thinking, this logic course of his, and it's like nugget by a nugget. We here in Poland, we are introduced to the 5 Ws and plus how questions early, and there are not early in the I was basically, I don't know how it looks right now, but early in the stages of schooling, and afterwards it's not so, there is not much how to say,
Focus on it.
focus on it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I took as responsibility right now to build my understanding of it and not shy away from pointing out to people that yeah, they might have they might have critical thinking to do. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to mention about the Corbett and his great understanding of this New York Times article that went down, and many people were like seeing there that they are that somehow there is this admitting of rigging up the election, and probably something about also this insurrection, supposed insurrection. And he got this deep dive, and in his understanding it was something like, okay, but you cannot catch them anywhere. They made it public somehow, but there are no catchphrases that they can be caught on that they actually did that. So great word by Corbett. I hope I get it correctly with my English, but yeah.
No, great expression of self. And for those listening, you notice that when he paused, I didn't interrupt him and try to fill in his words until he said, "How do you say?" And then I'm willing, because I'm paying attention. I want to assist, but there's two cases: people who speak a foreign language and people who stutter or have some sort of speech disablement or inability. You want to give them time to express themselves, because if you fill in the blanks, then you're cutting off their growth, and it's like they get frustrated. So when he said, "How do you say?" I'm right there with the assist, so he can keep freely flowing with his thoughts. But up until then, I'm willing to be patient, because it's beneficial for him to actually have time to think of the word and express himself. I know it seems simple, but it doesn't go on much in society. Thank you, Marcin.
Thank you also.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing some kind of self-help these days, and you can find a million self-help courses out there. Most other courses out there are hosting lectures, they're hosting videos, they're maybe even doing Q&As, and these are great starting points to encourage learning. But at AUTONOMY, we believe that hands-on practice is the best way to really lock in what we're learning. There's no better way to gain confidence and mastery than through action. After each lecture, we practice the concepts we've learned with other students, giving and receiving feedback in a non-judgmental environment. The result is mastery of concepts like entrepreneurship, ethical sales, and self-reliance in an environment that directly translates to the real world. Plus, you make connections with other like-minded individuals who are learning right alongside you, and you have a lifetime membership in the community. The AUTONOMY course with Richard Grove equips you with confidence, competence, and courage in a world filled with confusion and noise. You can learn more at getautonomy.info. We'll see you there.